Okay, let's get into this routine for the second freaking time. Oh, so bad. But it's fine. It's better that we have good quality audio instead of shitty ones, because I don't know if I mentioned in the intro, but I did this look already, but I decided, like an idiot, to forget that the camera that I am recording on, its audio is so fucking terrible. So I'm just gonna record the audio on my phone right here, so that I can have good quality audio and you can hear me and it doesn't sound like trash. So let's just get into it. Okay, so I already did my skin prep off camera because I had to take it off and I just thought it was a waste of time. But I used the Ordinary Glycolic Toner, this beautiful little thing that looks like it's filled with pee. It works so well with smoothing and evening out my skin tone. I have a lot of dark spots like right here, so yeah. But it really works well with evening out my skin tone, so I used that. And then I used the Ordinary Salicylic Acid Solution, which really works well with giving my face a nice glow and making it feel hydrated, after the simple fact that my face is very combination skin, so it like really dry right here and then really oily right here. Makes no sense, but it really works well with evening everything out, so it can feel like I just splashed my face with water. So that is all this skincare I do, because I don't really like to go all over the place because of the simple fact that if you do that, it can mess up your skin. So yeah, those are the only skin preppers that I use. Okay, let's get into the rest of the prep. We're gonna be using only 2 primers, preppers, nothing too crazy. I'm using the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer Niacinamide. This beautiful thing, look at it. She's almost out because I use this religiously. It is the best primer I've used since I've started makeup, and it's been a long time since I've started makeup. And I also am using the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. This stuff is so hydrating and amazing for your skin, but it is so fucking expensive. This is the mini. This isn't the big one. This mini was $28. It was so expensive. I was like, really? Isn't the mini supposed to be cheaper than the big one? Yet it's only cut the price down to like $30. I thought this thing was going to be expensive, but it works really well with hydrating and moisturizing my skin and making it feel very smooth. It is expensive as hell, but at least it works. It's a bang for your buck. Okay, and now we're gonna go in with Power Grip. Look at her. They blend out really well with each other. And I really love that, because if you use 2 products that don't work well with each other, your makeup is gonna come out looking like shit. So now we're gonna go on to the brows and my eyes. I don't like adding makeup quickly onto the prep. The reason for that is because of the fact that you have to let your prep sit and activate. If you don't do that, it will not work, and you're gonna come to the conclusion that like, hey, I just put all of this shit on my face just for it not to work. So you have to wait and let it activate and sit into your face, and then you can add makeup. So while that sits for like a second, let's move on to the eyes. As I've said, I've already did this makeup before, but let's just recreate it. I don't sit here and say I did not like the one from that video, not because it was ugly, but because one of the colors wouldn't show up in the fucking video. So let's just try this again and hope it doesn't flop. So the first thing we're gonna do is my brows. I don't really do anything much with my brows. The reason for that is because of this little fucker right here. I did something really stupid when I was young, decided to act like a total dumbass, and now I'm left with this scar. And this scar downsizes my eyebrow, so it does not match this one, so it is very hard to get them even and congruent. So I don't really do much with my eyebrows. I used to try to do much with my eyebrows, and they came out looking like shit. So we're not gonna do that. we're just going to set them down. We're just going to be using the NYX The Brow Glue in the shade Black. She works really well. Like I said, I enjoy fluffy brows. I know that they went out of style and everyone's like into that whole like set down brow, but I really like it. And it really works well for my eyebrow. And like I said, I don't really do much with my eyebrows because of this scar, and I don't want to look like a crazy person. So this is as far as I'm gonna get them. Like I said, they are cousins, not sisters or twins, but they sit on my face, so we're just gonna leave them be. And we're just gonna move on to the eyes. So I'm gonna first go in with this hydrating camo concealer from e.l.f. This is in the shade, fucking rate it. It's in the shade medium warm. This is very light, so this is gonna look super crazy on someone with my skin complexion. But I like, for my eyeshadow, I like to get concealer that is a little lighter for my skin that I wouldn't use for my concealer, but nice and white so that I'm able to do some eyeshadow. And my eyeshadow is shown, because if I just use like my foundation as my eyeshadow primer, you won't see it. You won't see what I'm doing. And with this look, you will sure the hell won't see what I'm doing. Now let's move on to the worst part of that makeup tutorial, the eyes. I'm going to be using the Maybelline Lemonade Craze palette. I don't know if this palette is ever gonna come back. I don't even know if this palette is ever gonna be made again. I know this is a limited edition eyeshadow palette, so I cannot leave any kind of links or tell you where to go to find it. I've had this for years. I think it was my first eyeshadow palette. I do not know, but yeah, we're gonna use this. Maybe you can go find dupes. You could probably find dupes. It's a drugstore palette. You can go find a dupe. Okay, let's just first go in with this shade.
Shit.
Sunnies? Yeah, Sunnies right there. This very white tone shade. And we're just gonna set the eye. You always want to set the eyeshadow, the concealer on your eyes and just on your face in general, so that it doesn't smudge or move around anything. Because I used to do that. I used to just put eyeshadow right on to my eye without setting the concealer, and it came out disgusting. So always set it with some sort of eyeshadow. Okay, let's move on to the eyes. I believe I went in with this shade right here. It's called Berry Ice. It's very light pink eyeshadow, and it just like washed into my eye. I don't think it did anything. I hate the look I made, which is why I'm gonna try to make it better. Even if you see something different on the thumbnail, I'm gonna try to make it better. Catfish you with the thumbnail, but I'm gonna try to make this eyeshadow look better. So now we're gonna go in with this shade. It's called Coral Punch. Go into it because these have no pigment at all. We're just gonna go in, know if anything is showing up. Okay, now we're gonna go in with this yellow right here. Okay, we're just gonna go into it. We're gonna use this, my setting spray, which I will get to in a minute, and we're just going to add this to basically the lid and stuff like that and see what we can do. Like I said, the first time I did this, it came out looking like shit. So let's try to not have it looking like shit this time. Let's hope that we don't have it looking like shit this time. Now I'm gonna go with my finger. Look at that, see? Now it's showing up. Girl, the first time I did this look, it didn't want to show up at all. I think it's because it's just not a really pigmented palette in the get-go, so it's not gonna, you have to like basically do such extra Bill Nye the Science Guy shit just to get pigment out of this freaking line. Now we're gonna go back in with our brush and we're just gonna blend the edges in. I'm gonna go in with this color right here. It's called Sweet Tea, and I'm just gonna add it on top. But yeah, that's the look. Now we're gonna go in with eyeliner. This is the e.l.f. Precision Liquid Eyeliner. Let me open it. Look at her, so pretty. I'm gonna do this. This is gonna be really difficult because of the simple fact that I suck at doing eyeliner. And I remember I thought I had doughy eyes. I had doughy eyes for years. Thought I had doughy eyes. But then I did something. I don't know if anyone's gonna find this skeptical or crazy or controversial, but I used ChatGPT and I decided to put a picture of myself.
And I told them, like in the caption, I said, what kind of eyes do I have? And it told me I had almond-shaped eyes with hooded, a slight hood. Bitch, I was so shocked. I thought that I had
doughy eyes because, like, look how big my eyes are. Look at them. They're huge. So I thought I had,
doughy eyes, just to find out I have almond eyes.
That explains so much of why
Most of my makeup came out looking like shit. Mostly because I suck at makeup, but also because I was doing it on the wrong eyes, including eyeliner.
I was taught by ChatGPT to do a slight eyeliner instead of that dramatic, crazy color in eyeliner that you see because it works well with my eyes. And that's how you do makeup. You do makeup based off of what you look like, not based off of what other people look like, which is why I believe most of my makeup came out looking like shit, because I did it based on what I saw instead of paying attention to what I look like. So yeah, that was crazy. I suck at this. I suck at it so bad. Like, sometimes I question myself because it came out so beautiful and I look like shit. Okay. Let me just go clean this up and I'll be back. Okay. We tried to get them on the same page. I tried cleaning it up. I think I did well. Again, they're cousins, not sisters or twins, but I tried. This is the eyes. At least it looks a little lighter and more yellow toned than the first time, because the first time came out white as hell. So the last thing we're gonna do is just take this little smudge brush. We're gonna go into this shade right here. It's called Main Squeeze, and we're just gonna pop this on me, like right here. Like, at least this has pigment. I don't know why his cousins and sisters suck. Okay, the last thing we're gonna do for the eyes is go in with this Essence I Love Extreme Crazy Volume Waterproof Mascara. This works really, really well. I have ran through so many mascaras, and my God, can I tell you, they were terrible. Some of them were way too dry. Some of them would just clash my eyelashes. Some would just kind of crust off throughout the day. And so I have been exploring to find the best mascara possible, and I think I found it. Look at my eyes. Very bright, very cutesy, very summery. They look really pretty. Let's move on to the canvas. Before I do my foundation, I like to go in with this Ray of Sunshine Illuminating Liquid Highlighter from Profusion. Right here. She works so well. Like, she's really glowy and really adds a nice bit of glow to my face, because as I've emphasized like 1,000 times, I do not want to look dry. So I go and try to search for as many glowy products as possible, and she works. The only downside that I would say to anyone who has used this product or might use this product, I would say that the only thing I would recommend is that this has a tint to my face. I know it doesn't look like that in camera. It just looks like a very glowy T-zone. So I would recommend, if you are my skin complexion, use this under your foundation. Do not use it on top of your foundation because it leaves such a white tint. Let's go into one of my most favorite products in the entire world. She has literally saved my life from using so many heavy, crazy, intense foundations. She works really well on my skin, and I just love her to bits. And you know her, you love her, you've probably seen her all over the internet. The e.l.f. Halo Glow liquid filter, and this is in the shade Tan Deep. This product works so well, looks so good on anyone's skin. Unless you're oily and you do not like glowy products. But she works really well for me and hasn't really caused me any problems. I was a little skeptical at first because sometimes when products are hyped up on the internet, they can come out looking so terrible. So I try to not find products based off of them becoming trends on the internet. I got to say, I am one of its biggest fans. It is so lightweight. I don't think I showed you guys at first. I have acne breaking out right there. It's very light, so if you do not like your pimples to show through, I would recommend using a foundation over it. Now let's get into concealer. So I'm going to be using a deeper shade than the one that we used on our eyes, the e.l.f. Hydrating Concealer. This is in the shade Tan Sand. Very hydrating, which I love because of the simple fact that, again, I have very dry T-zone area, so I do not need a foundation or a concealer that is too drying. And it's medium to buildable coverage, which I love. Sometimes I don't really like the concealers that are like crazy, like full coverage, because they can cake you out real quick. So I really like these like medium to buildable coverage. And I got this shade, like I said, in Tan Sand, which again, if you're a beginner, I would recommend getting a concealer that is 2 shades lighter than your foundation. So you see how these are 2 different shades? That's how your concealer should look. It should not be your foundation, because at that point, there's no point in putting on concealer. You're just adding more product that is useless. And 2, it brightens up the bottom of your eyes, which is the point of concealer. But for the nose, we're gonna be going in with this. This is a highlighter like brush from Real Techniques. I've been using it for my nose concealer because I don't know what it is, but when I use like a beauty blender for my nose contour, it just moves it around or looks like trash. And so I have been using this, and it's been working so well with keeping the product where I put the product. Now let's move on to my favorite thing, contour, to help bring more color to my face because I look pale as hell. This is my favorite holy grail. This is the best product I have spent money on, the Fenty Beauty Matchstick. This is in the shade Espresso. It's such a nice, deep, cool shade because of the simple fact that I only contour my face. I do not do any kind of bronzer or anything like that. Do not put your contour on the bottom of your cheek. I already have upper cheekbones, but still, do not add it to the bottom hollow. You see this shadow? Do not add it there. Add it on top. And I am telling you guys, your cheeks are gonna look so snatched. If you put it on your cheekbone, I don't know why I cannot say this is for everybody, but for me, it drags down my face. So I have been putting it on top of my cheekbone and I cannot go back. And also with this product, what can you say? She is so creamy, so fucking creamy, and so easy to blend. But now we're gonna go in and contour the rest of my face. To go on my nose, this is my nose contour. I have found a way that works for my nose contour. At first, girl, I sucked at this. I sucked at doing nose contour. But now, after like a lot of methods and ChatGPT helping me, I have figured out a way to make my nose smaller without emphasizing it. Okay, look at this. Watch this. Watch this and how easy it is to blend this out, because look at it. Oh my god. Oh my god. I love this shit so much. Go with my finger. I'm not flipping off. I'm gonna go with my finger and I'm just gonna blend this nose. I have been using my finger for my nose since I did this on my birthday. And the reason I do this is because, like I said, it helps with keeping everything where I want it to be. And look at that. Look at that. Look at her. She's so tiny. No, it's not emphasizing my nose, because when I look down like this, my nose is so emphasized. So I'm glad when I look up, it's so cute and like pouty and like cutesy and adorable. And I fucking love it. So now we're gonna go in with blush. Love this stuff. This is the Love Tint by Benefit. This is so beautiful and pink and a little bit of red. I don't really like too pinky or peachy blushes. I really fucking hate them because they don't really look good on my skin and they make me look ashy, which is what I do not want. So I just blend it in with this highlighter brush from Real Techniques. So I just do this. I do go in with my beauty blender, but I do it afterwards to take away some of the pigment because this shit is hella pigmented. But did you see where I put the blush? I didn't put it on the apples of my cheeks. I put it on top of that contour and I put it under my eye because, again, it looks so high up and emphasizes my face instead of dragging it down, which I don't want. Okay, so now let's set the face. I'm gonna go in with the Laura Mercier. This is in the shade Translucent Honey, and it has been so good. It made my makeup for my birthday look so fucking smooth, and I fucking love it, and I can't go back. I used to use the Fit Me powder. I gotta tell you, unless you have very greasy skin or skin that can handle very dry powder, do not use that because it will dry out your face and make your face look so matte and caked. You won't want to use it again. You will not want to use it again. So unless you can handle it, do not go for that powder. Go for something else, but like this powder, or go find a different powder because that one is so dry. It made my concealer, when I put it down, it made my concealer patch up and look crusty and start to peel, and I threw that shit away. I was like, yeah, I'm not using that. But anyway, I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna put it on the back of my hand. I know how crazy this looks, but it's so that it doesn't, like I said, cake up my face because I do not want a caked up face. That's the last thing I want. Now we're gonna go in with some powder contour or powder foundation. This is the Maybelline Superstay Hybrid Powder Foundation. I don't know what shade this is. One thing you will know about this is hella pigmented. And I would understand that because of the simple fact that it is a foundation. I would never use this foundation. Like I said, seems very drying. I only put this, like that. That's it. And I tried getting as much pigment off because, like I said, look at this. It is so fucking pigmented. So now we're gonna go in and set the blush. Now, before I say anything, this palette has been used so much and so religiously and gracefully. She looks terrible. She's having a bad day. So we're not gonna laugh at her. But at least you know I am using products well. This is the BH Cosmetics Blush Neutrals 26 color eyeshadow and blush palette. Again, she's not the prettiest girl at the mall, not the prettiest girl standing here, but she works really well. I'm gonna be using this shade right here. Like I said, it's really, really emphasized, and I like a lot of blush. I really like that sun-kissed look, even though I'm super black. I really like that sun-kissed look. Now we're gonna set this bitch in place. This is my favorite setting spray at the moment, but again, she's extremely expensive. I think she was the most expensive product I bought. She works really well. She really sets everything in place. You're probably wondering, I put setting powder before setting spray, and the reason is because I feel like it melts better when it is put on first before putting on the setting spray. Hydrating. Okay, so the last part of this tutorial is my lips. I am gonna be going in with two of my current favorite products, the NYX Lip Pencil Crayon in the shade Current. I think she's that. I don't know if you can see. It's very purpley, browny, but I wanted something very natural to my skin because it's simple fact that my eyes are very, light and colorful, and then my blush is really colorful, so I don't want any attention off of these factors. It is really creamy. So now that we have it blended, which I always do because I don't want that line to be seen, I'm going to be going in the best lip oil I have been able to find. It is so creamy and glossy and just the best fucking thing I have bought. This is the e.l.f. lip oil in the shade Hot as Fudge. Look how buttery this bitch is, which is really good because sometimes when I put on any kind of lip gloss or any kind of lipstick, it feels very chalky or it just goes away like in like 5 hours. But this one, she stays so long. I think probably the last time I used it was like for 5-6 hours, which is really well, because again, if I'm gonna buy a product, I want it to go all the way. So if I had to recommend a lip oil that is very cheap, I think she was $4, this would be the lip oil for you. We have our final face. This is the final look. You see how glowy and wet and smooth and beautiful I look. Like I just dipped myself in water. It's so beautiful. I literally love it. It is a good summer makeup routine if you want a little more pop, a little more color to your face other than just doing a natural look. This seems to work out really well. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And don't forget to subscribe down below and hit that notification bell because I'm going to be trying my best to be as consistent as possible on this channel. But without all that being said, I hope you guys have a great day and I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.